Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Simone Malone, your Radio Feel Good Man, live out of Studio 236, and I am delighted today to have my dear friend who has been working with me for about 6 years, Mr. Cleous Young. He is a children's writer. Mr. CY, I want to welcome you once again to FMHDMS, and I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. 6 years.
Yes, 6 years, and you haven't thrown me to the side.
I know, in the making.
But listen, I wanted to have you on because you were just on the radio talking about, your wonderful ability to be able to write children's books. But before we talk about that, can you let the viewers know a little bit about where you're from? And I think by that accent, they know you from Jamaica.
Ari.
And how you made the transition from Jamaica over here. Can you share that with us?
Yes, I'm from Jamaica, and I made a transition in 1994. I came over here from the concept of wanting to be a better soccer player.
Oh, wow.
In Jamaica, the actual sport that is highlighted over here, it's basketball or football. In Jamaica, it's even though you have Usain Bolt that's doing all that,
right.
it's football, we call it.
Okay.
So I thought about it, if I left Jamaica, which is a third world country, and come over here and get the proper practice and training and stuff like that, then I'll become the next Pele, which was my childhood dream. So that's how I came over here. And the whole concept was how in the Caribbean, what you do, the family, either mom or parent or a different family member, they'll come over here, work, set up the foundation, and then invite the children to come over.
Good.
So my mom did that, and I came over, and that's how the journey started.
And you've been here now for what? Is it 11 years?
No, in Philadelphia I've been here for 11 years.
Okay.
In America, 20 years.
Okay. So he is a citizen. So don't get it twisted. He is a citizen.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, how did you develop this passion? Because that is what it is for you.
The passion.
For writing for children. And the passion that you have for our young people today is just phenomenal. Because there's so much going on, as you know, with the educational system here in Philadelphia.
Yeah. The passion came about when I came over here, I was writing for friends. I know Valentine's Day is coming up. I know I would have several requests.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up. I'll have several requests to write either a love letter or a poem to their significant other. So that's how I actually started out in writing. When I went to college for the first time around, one of my friends that I used to write for, he said, "Hey, since you're not working, why not write some poetry and enter into a poetry contest where you could win some money?" And that's how I started writing for looking at the professional level. And I entered into a contest, and the poem that I wrote, it actually went all the way to the final. And I started to look at that like, wow. However, I found out that company was such a bandulo or scandalous company. So when they actually published the book with my poem in it, that was my first publication. And I didn't support it because I started to find out all these corruption that the company went through and stuff like that. So I looked at it, even though it was my first work and I should have purchased it, I looked at it, if I purchase it, which I was looking at, why do I have a poem in the book and I have to turn around and purchase it? And when I looked at it, I said, no, I'm not supporting them. And what I started to do from there was start writing my own now to get it published.
Awesome, awesome. So prior to these two new books that we're going to talk about, you've written how many books?
About 4 other books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we encourage you guys to make sure you get his books because you can read them to your children. And we want to talk about now the new books. You have The Four Fisher Women. Not the men, but the women. Let's get a good shot at that. You see that handsome brother right there? This is his new book.
One of them.
An easy read.
Yes.
And then we also have, always about the motivation. I love it, Al. Do your best. Yes. We got a good shot at that. Do your best.
Yes.
So let's talk about this and the availability of these books on Amazon and how people can get them, put it in their library, read it to their children, and what it will do, the effect that it has on them. Go ahead.
Okay. So the 2 books came about, as I said, I wrote 4 other books.
Okay.
And what I was looking at this time was not necessarily just becoming an author. I already done that.
Mhm.
I was looking at the value of our children and what could really help them. And stemming from a avenue where I used to teach, I looked at it from the avenue of now comprehension. And when I looked at that, I said, wow, what could I develop to go around comprehension? When you talk about the concept of illiteracy,
Right, right.
illiteracy, they typically talk about the reading and writing,
Mhm.
not the comprehension avenue. So the way the books are designed to help to build the comprehension skill. And this is how important it is. Without comprehension, then you're illiterate to everything in life, not just reading.
So is that the problem with so many people? They don't
Yes.
comprehend?
And as you said that, and it's
Wow.
funny that you say that because 85% of the juvenile system, the children that are in the juvenile system, they are functional illiterate, which means that they can't read, write, and comprehend to make the decision to stay out of that system.
But you know, not even just for children, for adults.
Oh.
You have a conversation with them, they don't even comprehend. They don't even know what you said.
Ooh.
Hello, somebody. That's something,
And
man.
it's funny because when I originally wrote the book, I wrote them for age 9 to 11.
Okay.
After doing a focus group, I realized that I had to take away the age 11 and put it for 9 and up. Just as you have some toys out there that the toys will say, hey, 3 and up or 7 and up, then the books are written in that regards where it's 9 and up.
Okay.
I was talking to an elder the other day, and she's like, "Hey, I don't have any grandchildren." And I said, "No, the books aren't for that." What I looked at, there's a avenue where you practice your comprehension skill,
Mhm.
but there's also principles that are in there
Mhm.
that you could use to monitor your life for the rest of your life. And what I looked at was the concept of what's not working with our adults, and then taking that as the principle now to now share it with our children, so
Okay.
they can now have that value of growing up to do what? Do their best, which
That's
is
right.
much greater than the adults that we have, including myself.
Right.
There are things that I'm learning right now, and I think even though I apply it to my life, it's a little bit too late. Where I looked at it, if I was taught this at a younger age,
Mhm.
then what could happen during a 20-year span of me using this, then I would be a master of it. And let me give you a great example. We just talked about the session that you just did, and you played a Michael Jackson, right?
Mhm.
Michael Jackson is someone who started singing from a younger age.
Mhm.
So he was able to develop that talent to now become the king of pop,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And the same thing with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods started to play golf at a younger age. So you look at it, when you start developing these things of who you are from a younger age,
Mhm.
the more years you have in them, then the better you will become at them.
That's true.
So I'm taking those principles and I'm putting it into the book format,
Mhm.
where it's not just around comprehension, it's giving you principles that could align to your life. And the younger you are and the more you start practicing the
Mhm.
principles,
Mhm.
then the greater you're going to become when you get that age of an adult.
Yes.
So that's what the books are designed around. It's not around just, okay, I have the ability to write,
Mhm.
or I want to become an author. No,
Absolutely.
that's out of the window. I already done that
I
for
agree.
several times. Not only for myself, I write for other people too.
Oh yeah. Do I know? Yes, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, talking to Cleous Young, my dear friend, children's author. The Four Fisher Women, recognizing the value, recognizing the value of common good, and also we're talking about do your best. Do I live by this or what?
Amen. And
Strive to be the best. Each one teach one.
and that's what I'm focusing on with
Yes.
that book, and I want to really extend it beyond that.
Okay.
I'm currently working on a play,
Good.
a do your best play,
Mm.
and I'm actually working on another avenue on. I don't know if I'm going to turn it into a board game
Okay,
or just a
okay.
regular game of how you could actually do your best.
Good. Now go ahead real quick, CY, and encourage people to find out more about you on Facebook. He's on all those search engines.
Yeah,
And
Facebook,
you can get the book. It's available on Amazon and all of that. Even on Kindle.
Kindle.
Okay.
Yes, it's also available on the Kindle or Amazon. And it would be easier if you type in my name, Cleous Young, which is CleousYoung, in Amazon. And what that will do, it actually bring up the books, not only just these two books, but all the other books that I've written myself
Good.
or I'm a part of. And you can get to support it from that angle. And as I said earlier, it's not about me just writing anymore. It's now looking at my life as where I'm at and saying, okay, am I able to give back something to our children that could make their life something more substantial than my life? And that's what I started doing now. I started designing books, and whatever I'm doing, either the play, the workshops, everything that I'm doing now, it's around revolving the concept of saying, hey, I've learned all these things. How do I impart them into someone else so they can now turn around and do their best?
Good.
And when I start looking at adults and we think that we're doing our best, we're far away from our best.
Far from it. Far from it. So what's your final word today on the program here? What's your final word you want to say to the viewers out there of our radio station?
And if you look at it, what brought us together, it is that common good that we shared for 6 years. So, see, and that's something that I turned around and actually now implementing in one of the books. So I look at it from the angle, what I could share with everyone and start finding the common good in each other. And I ran a bullying program. The bullying was around differences.
Right.
So now I don't focus on that. I focus on what could bring us together. And if we're going to have that concept that we're going to be a better world, then we have to start seeing the things that are common in each and every one of us.
Great.
And it's ironic that this state of Pennsylvania is called the Commonwealth state, which is about the Commonwealth. And if we're all going to be wealthy, then it has to go around for everyone.
That's right. Share it. Share the love. Share the wealth.
Thank you.
Do your best. And, of course, the 4 fisherwomen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hold them up. Here we go.
And it comes together as a set.
As a set. And it costs how much?
$20.
$20. Place a $20 seed and be a blessing to Cleous.
And the reason why I say it's a set, I'm in school again.
Yes.
And one of the things that I learned, it's co-occurring. And what I learned from that was when something is going wrong in the forefront, there's something in the background that's actually causing it. And from the community level, we tend to address what's going on in the front, but not on the back. So when I look at that, I said, hey, what if I design 2 books? So the 2 books are always designed to help what's at the front and what's at the back. So now you're addressing the real problem and not just the surface of it.
Okay, well, we thank you so much for coming to Studio 236.
Hey.
And you want to say hello to anybody special before we go?
My mom. I always share with my mom, and for a significant reason, and that's another part of comprehension too. When you have people who support you, then it makes your mind open a little wider. And the wider your mind becomes, the more you start to comprehend. If I come here and I support what you're doing, it makes you happy.
Absolutely.
When you're happy now, you start to comprehend things a lot easier. And from a classroom, I realized that the children who were upset, it took a longer time for them to start comprehending what was going on because their brain was closed in. So I want to shout out my mom, who has been that valid support of making my life a little bit easier, where now I could start comprehend a lot.
I hear you.
I mean,
great. Folks, we must comprehend. We must support one another. When we support, look, you got one of your supporters calling. You widen. You said it gets wider.
Yeah.
So I want. Listen, you see me demonstrating. You see me demonstrating. For all of you to support us, if you support me, it'll get wider and wider. Yes, I like that concept.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
the more your mind opens up, the more you're able to achieve. They say a closed mouth never get fed.
Wow.
And a closed mind.
Well, I think I'm in the right business.
And closed mind. And a closed mind never achieve nothing.
I don't miss a meal. I guess I'm getting fed radio.
Yeah.
We thank you guys so much. Let's wave at everybody. Take care, everybody. Support my dear friend, Cleous Young, right here from Studio 236. I'm Simone Malone. Remember, you're never alone with Simone Malone. Do like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Listen to FMHDMSradio.net. We are your real music with real harmony and real groove station. Take care, everybody.
And you all need to tweet this too.
Yes.
Tweet it.
Tweet. Bye.